Just a no, huh?
Here you go.
Yeah.
And they make a game of it because we don't want to get kicked out.
Right.
Where we gonna go? I don't know. The hallway. I won't let you sit in the hallway and go to class. But I love my job. I really wanted to get into painting forever from Saturday Morning with Bob Ross. Bob Ross is my guy because he would sit up there with that weird crazy afro and those fan brushes. And he'd be like, little friend tree here, and he needs a buddy right here. Flick of the wrist, flick of the wrist. Yep. It's a whole world there, and you're like, that's magic, man.
Yep.
That's like magic.
Some simple little dabs.
A little of this, a little of that.
Turns into...
Get that white, brush everything out. I'm like, how that magic happened on this blank piece of canvas? Yeah. And that's what I've been chasing, that magic ever since. The whole idea that these little hands.
The hands. That's right. Your hands. Your fingers, your lips, your hands.
And eyes to these hands to that right there.
Yes. Yes.
I find it fascinating.
Interesting.
Yes.
That's just awesome that you can think like that and know that and feel that, because, you know, I feel like sometimes that I draw because I know how. And it's like, but there's some inspiration.
Sometimes I don't know how to do something, but...
Right. And you figure it out.
You gotta
try
keep
things
working
out. Right.
through it.
Right. And so in some moments the thing just comes out right away without thinking, and then when you're really trying, it doesn't work out.
This is the story of my life. Here's a piece of irony, right? I did this painting at like 2 a.m. My coffee break joint that you've seen online, right? 2 hours. Just on some, I walked in the house. I had just got my hair done. It's like 2 a.m. I had too much coffee, so I'm up. Why not? It was looking at me. I was like, let me just put a little paint on canvas. Next thing you know, I'm like, that looks pretty good. I can go to sleep. That was nothing. I have this little stupid little canvas, 4 or 5 days, and it's still like, I love the background. Background is killer. Looks like the galaxy, but the rest, I'm just like, my sister's just like, you know what? Sometimes you just have to put somebody aside. It's like quitting a man. You're going to have to quit that painting. I was like, I know, I got deadlines to meet. I'm falling behind because I just want to get it right. I'm getting obsessed in the artistically weird way that we do with something so unimportant, but I just want to get it right. And it's just like, please get this out of my sight.
Right, move,
I'm going to keep picking at it.
Yeah.
So those magic moments, they're like, But then those things that should be easy. No. I spent hours on the nose the other day. Like, why? Why am I still here?
So you're in high school. You're looking at college. Did you go to art college?
I did not. I went right down the street to Morris Brown. So completely not necessarily known for its art program.
Right. Your focus was, what was your focus?
Art education. Because at first it was just education. Then I was like, whoa. What happens if let's switch it to art? But believe it or not, I started thinking crazy enough about money. I was like, I'm good at math. You know, all my math teachers were like, you know, you ever think about going into accounting? You got some good scores on your class tests and things. And I drank the Kool-Aid. I said, okay, I can do art on the side. I'll be an accountant.
Get paid, be rich, and
then... I did that for a year, and I was just like sitting at the table the last day of dropping ad, and I was like, I'm gonna get fired. Like, that just popped into my head. You're gonna get fired. You're gonna be screwed. What will you do? Because I'm disorganized. I have terrible time management skills because I'm always thinking about 9 things at one time and doing this and getting sidetracked and doing this and doing this. Like, my ex-husband said I had OCD like a mug or ADD or something because I'm everywhere. And I just pictured myself wearing a suit every day, and I hate suits. I wear them the first day of school, and that's it. They never come out the closet. And I just couldn't see myself doing that for 30 years. And I've watched my thought process to be like, okay, mom works really hard. She doesn't make a lot of money. What can I do for 30 years that I don't hate like mom hates her job and will pay bills? And I was there like, you know what? Can't be an accountant for 30 years. Can't do it. I'm going to get fired or I'm going to quit. Went and begged them to change all my classes. Had to do 2 summer classes to catch back up. But I was like, okay, I'm back in the game with the art teacher thing.
Yeah.
Let's just ride that wave. And it was a good choice.
So you had that in mind, so then you followed up by finding a job and
got a job right out of school, and it's been.
And so then your plan all along has been to continue to do your art and your own creativity.
To be honest, no. Danny, it took a weird side turn like we women do. I got married. God forbid. Why? Why did I make that foolish emotional decision there? Yeah, so in getting married, it just the energy of creativity kind of got sucked out like a vampire, draining me with all the other. There was so much other, and not in a healthy way. You know, you can't create in chaos. Like, there's times when I look around in my house, I'm like, wait a minute. I gotta clean up before I even pick anything else up. I can't pick the brush up. I can't even wash the brushes out. Let me get the clutter to calm my brain down. Then I can focus. And my life was that chaos. Like, so that was 10 years of just being the school teacher. That was enough. I was just me keeping my head above water, just doing that in that life. Divorce brings, you know, this resurrection of options and opportunities and choice. You get to decide versus accommodating or trying to manage what someone else wants. You get to say to yourself, what are you going to do with the rest of this time you got on earth? And I made a conscious decision, slowly but surely. Okay, I started out, I used to go to Fabian's drawing sessions that he would have at Stuart McClendon. That was like my little, get yourself into something artsy. I did that for like a year, and he stopped doing that, so I had to find something else to do. Did Apache a couple of times. And I started to look at, okay, they're not bad. My sister would look at the work and be like, you know, you're getting better, dude. What you going to do with that? And then there's this whole, well, you're already doing it. Why don't you try to sell some of these? And I had a good friend, Marley. He's a school teacher, too. Yo, man, you got all this dope work under the bed? Why you got stuff under the bed like this, man? Yo, let me get one of them joints. And I'm like, Marley, you want one of my paintings? Really? He's like, yeah, man. So, you know, just having people around that encourage and appreciate stuff. Because sometimes we get in our own way. I see it as, oh, it's just some messing around. It's all right. But I see this is wrong. That's wrong. Oh, this lighting is odd. People looking at it like, shut up. What are you talking about? Like, you're going to pick it apart. And I just see pretty. So, got to keep myself filled up with other people's positive. Because sometimes, you know. Yeah. We get in our way.
Yeah. And look at it, any kind of criticism, just look at it as constructive. Even if it's not, even if it's haterism.
I have had haterism. I don't call anybody out, but I did this. I promise you, it just showed me the spectrum. And that's why I appreciate what you do so much, because there was that whole other. I did this, the Monday Art Wars or something that Apache does. The freehand battle. That's the
AWOL something. Or
yeah. I did that. You know, second place is fine, but I didn't come to win. I came to experience and get exposure. And what's this about? Let me just see. Right. So I'm open to whatever went down. But you had one individual just giving clear what I consider constructive criticism. As a teacher, I handed out all day.
Right.
So I can appreciate when you say this value change might have been a little bit harsh, or your lighting doesn't match up to whatever.
Sure.
Totally positive, useful commentary. Then you've got other individuals who tell you something like, you know, you should be ready at all times. You're not committing enough. You know, if you really want to get in this art life, you got to quit all your
That's about your character.
And in the same breath, you're telling me I have to commit to my art to make it as an artist. You know, because my phone bill wasn't even on yesterday, but I'm committed. So, you know what I mean? And I'm like,
not yesterday?
You can't tell me anything because my phone has never been off. And I'm sorry, I'm a Taurus. We about our money. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. There is absolutely no way I can live in the thought process that you have. And for your ego to tell me that what I'm doing is not gonna get me where I'm trying to go because your way is the way in the light. I wasn't even impressed by your work, and now you're telling me your thought process is just as weak as the work. I I see both sides of things. I've seen this community that you build up, and it's a warm, welcoming, opening arms kind of thing. And then I've also seen like, we made it over here. Hold up, where you going? Mm-hmm. Stay over there in the lower lands of the come up. You're still on the come up versus we are, we sitting here. We looking down on the peons of our. So that's the part that I kind of wasn't expecting, and especially from my people.
It goes back to high school. It goes back to grade school.
Clicks.
It goes right back to all of that, and
the clickishness.
It's a little frustrating, and
it is.
But I think, but like you said, you can take the criticism sometimes and say, okay, cool, I'm gonna take that as whatever they're trying to say, and whatever I can get out of it, and whatever it don't apply, and I keep moving.
Right.
Because there's not one route. There's not one way. There's not one path on the art. Like there is, and everybody is different. Everybody has different goals, different ideas of what success is. And if paying your phone bill so you can get back on is success, then you're doing it.
That's what it takes for you to feel like
you're doing it. Then
I need a bank account with some cash in it, man.
There you go.
I don't operate like that.
So is that your goal now? What is your goals? What your art?
Right now,
art like?
In ultimate big dream visions, like when I wake up in the middle of the night and the fairy has shook me awake to be like, yeah, remember that dream right there, girl. Wake up and remember that one.
Yeah.
I dream of having my name on somebody's placard at the high, or having a nice reputation of collectors where you're waiting on the new Sachi piece to come out. Mm-hmm. You're all standing around saying, oh, this is absolutely stunning thought process that she has. I want people to just appreciate my whole little weird thought process. I mean, you don't have to all get it, but if there's enough people that get it, that support it, I mean, I don't want to be a millionaire, but I do want to have someone appreciate the work. I would like to get that certain level of notoriety from, hey, I know her work.
Yeah.
That's nice stuff,
Yeah. I think any artist who wants to make money with their art, they should, the first goal would be to earn enough money with their art that they don't have to have a job. And of course, in your case, you're going to retire.
But that's my plan.
Whenever you retire.
Ultimately, I've got the 14 years. I said I just like to slowly. I don't need to be overnight success. That doesn't happen anyway. It takes time and process. But if I got my plan in my head right and it plays out the way God loves me and gives me what I need, by the time I'm ready to say bye, APS, have a good life, won't be back to substitute teach here, the dynamic will have flipped. Yeah. And this will be the full-time hustle income bringer, and the retirement money can just be the whatever it's going to be. Because it's not like I'm going to be 52 and sit down and do nothing. I'll be retired at 52 and have plenty of time left to do whatever.
That's right.
That's young.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Good. Very nice. So, can we find your artwork online? Do you have a website? What
SachiStudioArt.com, which I need to update the current work. Got some older things there.
SachiStudioArt.com. And you have an Instagram or Twitter?
Same as everything, Sachi Studio Arts.
Oh, very nice.
Everything is all in the same little
same
umbrella.
Words. That's good. All right.
Keep it easy, breathe.
Nice. So, last thing, and then I'll let you go. For a young Sachi coming out of high school or growing up, thinking about art and how they like art, and maybe thinking about business and making that their kind of life that they want to live, what kind of advice would you give them?
Connect. I've been in a bubble, our teachers all live in a little isolated island because we're the only ones in the building that do what we do, and we don't really get to interact with other art people at all for the entire year, maybe like one workshop or something, and then you go home to your life. So there's just like this little small dot amongst all these other disciplines in a building. You lose touch with what's current, you lose touch with what's trending, interesting. So tuning back in so late, I mean, I lost 10 years of development and ideas and just connections and things. I would tell that 10-year ago or 20-year ago person coming out of high school, me, find a Dan Flores. Find not you personally, but, find an organization. Connect and plug in outside of your normal, everyday community. My everyday life doesn't have any art friends in it. Like, that's That's standard. Like, I'm the art person in the crew. Mm-hmm. They want something